Breaking being in the Olympics. Breaking just made its debut in the 2024 Paris Olympics.
Since its debut, a bunch of narratives have spawned, all due to the viral clips of a Australian B-Girl Raygun, and her performance during the Olympics. People are questioning, does breaking deserve to be in the Olympics? And is it really even that hard to do?
Well, stick around for this video. We're gonna go over some of these topics. We're gonna tell you what we think, and we're gonna give you just a little bit more information and education as to what breaking is and what we think about B-Girl Raygun's performance. If you don't care about what breaking actually is, and you just wanna hear us talk about B-Girl Raygun, you can fast forward to the timestamps below in the video, but we highly suggest you listen to this part so that you can have some context as to what we are actually talking about, and things will make a lot more sense once we get to talking about B-Girl Raygun.
Let's get into it. So before we talk about what we think about B-Girl Raygun's performance, how we feel about it, but more importantly, how do we feel about the internet backlash to this performance, let's talk a little bit more about what breaking actually is.
Breaking as a culture. Now, we understand that a lot of you at home might not understand what breaking is. You might not understand that breaking is its own culture, and even more so, you might not understand that breaking is actually a part of the entire hip-hop culture.
Some of you probably don't even know that hip-hop is a culture.
Breaking is a core part of hip-hop culture, which many of you at home may not truly understand. Y'all just think hip-hop is rap music. Hip-hop is actually a culture composed of 5 different elements. DJs, the original orchestrators or composers of the music of hip-hop,
also known as turntables.
Breaking, which is the original first dance in the hip-hop culture. Graffiti, or what some might know as aerosol art, which is the original art within hip-hop.
And MCing, otherwise known as rap.
And the human beatbox completes the flee. Hey. Now this is how we run it down the line. DMC. It's second, I'm first to run.
I'ma T. I'll dog my face. I wanna get you on a quarter beat, Charlie Chase.
Cold Crush.
Charlie Chase, as cute as could be, you sell your soul to the devil to play like me.
And the final element within hip-hop culture is the knowledge gained by practicing your chosen element within the culture,
and then applying this knowledge to your everyday life.
So to have breaking, the very first dance in hip-hop culture, represented on a global stage at the Olympic Games, is not only a win for breaking and breaking culture, but a win for hip-hop culture as a whole, in every element, no matter how you see it. Now that you understand some of the elements of hip-hop culture and where it came from, let's talk about some of the ideologies within hip-hop. The principles of hip-hop are peace, unity, love, and having fun. We're essentially doing this in a peaceful manner, doing this rather than more violent or things that could be deemed not peaceful. Unity, because we're doing it together. It's a community, all right? It doesn't matter where you're from. Anybody can be in the hip-hop culture, and anybody can partake in the community, because that's just how it was made.
Love and having fun. If you're really thinking about where breaking came from or where hip-hop came from, it came from the streets. It came from people who had nothing, particularly the South Bronx of New York City. Particularly people who had nothing, who couldn't get into these clubs, these magnificent clubs of disco. So what they do? They had to create something of their own, something to call their own. And from an area of struggle, an area of violence, or what people would deem as negative, came something so beautiful. By bringing people together and just having a good time, just going to a party, just chilling with your peoples, and making music the way you want to make it, dancing the way you want to do it. Because at the end of the day, hip-hop is about self-expression. The ability to express yourself and just not care what people think about it. By performing and doing the things that you love, the things that mean the most to you. Whether it's through graffiti, whether it's through DJing, MCing, or breaking, anything essentially can adapt the hip-hop mind state. You can be a mathematician and have the hip-hop mind state. You can love to make movies. You can love to watch movies and have the hip-hop mind state. The mind state is simple. I do what I love to do. because it makes me feel good. And I'm able to express myself openly and honestly through this act. And I don't care what anybody thinks about it because it makes me feel at peace. It gives me a sense of belonging, and it gives me a sense of purpose. Hip hop overall is a mentality, and it's a mentality that not only brings people together, but grows them as individuals and people.
So by expressing oneself fully and honestly, we are able to connect with each other, find the similarities, find the love within each other and what we love to do and how we love to live life, and we're having fun while we're doing it.
Damn right. I can't tell you how many times me and my brother have traveled this world going to competitions or what we call battles, and just being able to vibe and connect with people who don't even speak our language, only because that's what real hip hop is. You don't need to speak the same language to understand each other. You already understand each other. You're all doing the same thing that you love to do. That love of what you're doing is what enables you to understand somebody who's from an entirely different culture, an entirely different country. Because under hip hop, we all the same culture.
And that's what the hip hop culture is really all about. As my brother expressed earlier, we have traveled to different places and have communicated with people who don't necessarily speak the same language as us, but we're able to understand each other through our love for doing the same element within the hip hop culture. By doing the same element, we've experienced similar struggles, experienced similar hurdles, and we're able to connect even deeper than just what language we speak. Hip hop culture allows people from different cultures to connect, and that's something that we really want to get across to everyone, because a lot of people think that the hip hop culture should just be exclusive to one type of person or one type of community, when in all actuality, it takes everyone in and allows them to express themselves fully, honestly, and authentically.
Let's talk about breaking, and that's if you want to even try it.
Let's talk about breaking and why it's arguably the most difficult, challenging activity that you can do. It's humanly possible. Now, while breaking is a dance and dancers are expected to dance on beat, move to the music, move rhythmically, it's also super athletic.
Breaking has a lot in common with a well-known sport in the Olympics right now, gymnastics.
Both breaking and gymnastics require an immense amount of strength, flexibility, mobility,
And the ability to manipulate your body in ways that don't seem humanly possible.
but here's the twist. Breaking might arguably be even more difficult than gymnastics because it is an art form.
You see, in gymnastics, your routines are carefully crafted by your coaches according to your skill level and the skills that you work so hard to build up to. There's a whole bunch of set skills that have been made throughout history to choose from. There are steps taken to get to that skill and get to that skill level. Now, is it guaranteed you're gonna get to the highest level of skill and go to the Olympics? No, but if you really work hard at it and follow the roadmap that's laid out for you, you have a higher chance of reaching that Olympic level in gymnastics just because it's been done before and replicated multiple times.
But in breaking, dancers have to create their own moves, adding a layer of difficulty because they have to think and they have to innovate on the spot.
This level of creativity is what makes breaking so tough. Because it's not just about doing the moves, it's about doing the moves and making them your own.
It's not what you do, it's how you do it. See, breaking requires dancers to choose a set of foundational moves or movements that they want to learn and master those moves. For some of these dancers, or for some of these people doing these moves, it takes them between 3 and 5, maybe sometimes 7 years just to master the chosen foundation of their own unique style.
Let me give you a little perspective shift. Imagine that you want to do something, a sport or an activity, and you have to train at least a minimum of 3 times a week with a minimum of maybe 2 hours every time you train for 3 to 5 years just to get the foundational requirement to do what you actually really want to do.
Just to get the basics.
Just to get the basics.
Just to boil an egg.
He can't even boil a fucking egg.
Just to boil an egg. And once you get those basics, now that you have them, you have to elevate them on an even higher level, but more importantly and even more difficult, do them in a way that is unique to you. unique to your personality, unique to your body type. And that's when you begin the journey of what we call finding your style. Finding your style can take almost your whole B-boy or B-girl life. It's a difficult thing to do. It can take you more than a decade.
And once you've mastered this foundation, you're then expected to take the foundation you've mastered and innovate and create your own unique style, your own unique movement, your own unique moves.
All while doing it to the music.
And this process can take your entire breaking career. And furthermore, because you are creating your own set of movement that's unique to who you are, your body type, your personality, basically doing what you want to do, that further builds on the principle that hip hop is all about self-expression, doing it authentically the way you want to do it.
When you see people dancing or getting down and breaking and doing things that you may think is weird with their hands or with their face, they're just expressing themselves. And it's all about perspective shit. Because you don't understand what the culture is, it looks silly to you. But to us, well, it's not silly. It's just somebody expressing themselves.
And even if it does look kind of silly,
so what?
So what?
So
There's
what?
plenty of things that are sillier in the Paris 2024 Olympics that y'all should be more concerned with than someone moving their arms in a certain way during the first round in a breaking category.
That may look funny to you.
So breaking is more than just a dance, it's more than just a sport. It's a physical and creative challenge that pushes the limits of the human body.
It's this blend of athleticism and artistry that makes it one of the toughest activities out there to do. Okay, so the time has finally come, and we're here to tell you what we think about the whole B-Girl Raygun from Australia and her performance in the Olympics this year for breaking. And honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm embarrassed and I'm appalled at how everybody else is reacting and handling this. There is no reason anybody has the right to pass judgment on this girl for what she's doing, and quite frankly, trying to destroy her for reasons that have nothing to do with our culture, that have nothing to do with the Olympics, and that have nothing to do with anything really.
You have the right to your opinion, most definitely. If you think she looked funny, if you think that she didn't do that good, that's fine. You have the right to that opinion, all right? But I don't think it's right that people are taking her performance and putting it underneath the magnifying glass that they have and making her feel bad for having that performance. If you take a look at some of B-Girl Raygun's other performances in her past, she's done way better than that. And you know what? It's okay. Sometimes you just don't have a good day.
It's breaking's debut into the Olympics, and you're representing your country. That's a lot of pressure to be put on your shoulders. And you know, you just freeze up under the lights. It's okay. It happens.
It's okay if you don't understand the dance. It's okay if you don't understand how it works. That is perfectly fine. And you know what? It's okay to have your opinion about her performance. We all have our opinions about performances in many sporting events, within the Olympics, outside of the Olympics. That is okay. Not okay is to pass judgment as if you do understand what it is, and to also base the entire dance and the fact that it's in the Olympics on this one clip of this girl who just had an off day. Like, it's okay.
And as far as everyone wanting to make a big deal, because it's so convenient that you can freeze frame her in certain positions or poses in the dance, put it as a thumbnail and get clicks, because that's what's really happening. People just want to get clicks. People just want to feed their news feeds for something that's trending now because somebody made a meme about it. And now they're destroying this girl's fire and passion for something that she loves to do just because they want these clicks, and everybody wants to ride this wave. Like, this is grown men and women we're talking about this girl right here. They don't understand it. They don't even want to try to understand it. I see it in news outlets. I see it in YouTube videos, YouTubers using words like disgrace and abomination.
Now, did she have the strongest round in the competition? No.
No.
Is she the most high-level B-girl in the circle of girls she was dancing within? No.
No.
And that's okay. There's always gonna be countries that are stronger than others. In her scene, she might just be the strongest B-girl in her scene.
That just might be what it is.
She may have showed up to the qualifier that they did for that region, and she might have had the best day that day and earned her way to the Olympics. It is what it is. You know what I mean? But with that being said, what she did is not something, because I want to get this narrative out the way right now, it's not something that anybody can do.
No.
Right? Especially those who are talking all this trash.
Let's get this straight, okay? There's a narrative going around. A lot of people like to say, hey, you know, oh, I can do that. Well, here's the reality. You can't.
There's a bunch of people out there making videos and conveniently trying to copy what she did in the Olympics, conveniently cutting out all of the more difficult aspects of what she did in her round to make it seem like the everyday, average Joe Schmo could just get up and just start breaking.
B-Girl Raygun has really fallen victim to this pathetic clip culture that we live in, where people want to conveniently clip out the pieces that fit their narrative. So what had happened is that they're taking maybe the very few parts of her get downs and rounds that
might look kind of funny.
Or just might look easy because she either paused in her round to pose or do something like that, and they think that this pause or posing or whatever is something that they can do, but they conveniently left out everything else in between. Conveniently left out that she's doing a move called swipes on her forearms.
That none of y'all could even imagine to do.
Which is not easy. See, you have to understand, the basic moves of this dance, if you're not trained in it, are extremely hard to do.
For your average day, regular Joe Schmo, for your everyday person who's trying to act like that anybody can do this.
And you know what? I will take it a step further and say this. Even for fit people, and when I mean fit, I mean conventionally fit people. People who just maybe go to the gym consistently, lean, and are fairly stronger than the average person. It's extremely hard for them too, because the body mechanics of this dance are not easy to grasp. That's why it takes years to really understand. So picture this. You ever seen somebody at like a club or like a wedding? Ha ha ha, let's have some fun. They get down in a circle and they do some...
They attempt to do some form of breaking.
They attempt to do some breaking moves, right? Let's be real. They look super silly. And it's okay, they're just having fun. Bruh. But that's the point. They look super silly because the most basic moves in breaking, to do them strong, to do them clean, and to the music is extremely hard. You have to train for at least 2.5 to 3
to 5 years.
To 5 years.
To master your foundation, to even move like a basic B-boy or B-girl. I dare you. I double dog, I triple dog. I triple dog dare you.
I triple dog dare you.
To try and do some of the harder moves she did. None of y'all can stand on your head, let go of your toes and touch them for a second, then come back. None of y'all can do bridge-like motions while moving.
None of y'all can do this move that we pointed out, which is a swipe, and do it on your forearms, on your elbows or your forearms consistently. None of y'all can do coin drops either. There's a move she does called the coin drop.
She puts her head on the floor, right? And then she throws her back into the floor in a
spiral-like motion.
In a spiral-like motion, going onto her back, then pushing off of her back onto her head.
In the breaking community, for people who've actually trained and understand the mechanics of how long it takes to obtain these basics, and then when you get to the point where you can obtain these basics, yeah, okay, you've earned the right to say, you know, that's not that hard to do, but we still love and respect each other anyway for trying. But you've earned the right to do that because you've seen how much it takes to even do a coin drop, to even do a swipe, let alone on your forearm, to do a headstand, let go and touch your toes with a certain level of body control that is above average. You've earned the right. But if you're somebody who's sitting at home, if you're somebody who's never even tried this dance, tried to learn about it, or don't even know the amount of hard work and physicality it takes to get into it, no, you have not earned that right.
And the truth is, she's just fallen victim to clickbait culture, to this meme culture, to the internet wave, to the wave that is the internet. People are gonna take the smallest thing, they're gonna supersize it, make it super big, and then try to run with the narrative that they saw that's going viral when they don't even know what's going on themselves. So before you want to criticize B-Girl Raygun or what's happening with breaking in the Olympics, do yourself a favor, educate yourself. Look at what breaking actually is, what it consists of. Watch the other rounds. It's such a shame that everyone is harping on Raygun's performance, making this girl trying to attempt to bring her down super low, and this attention is being put on such a negative narrative, and nobody's looking at the fact that us in the US, we won a bronze medal in Olympic history. Shout out to B-Boy Victor. Or that the first gold, that the fact that this was even in the Olympics. Shout out to all the winners. Shout out to all the participants who went out there and represented their country for the first time. That's the story we should be telling.
Shout out to the highlighted moments of excellence and fearlessness to get on that stage and do things that defy all human physiology logic.
This is what we should be talking about. This is what we should be celebrating. We got to stop, quite frankly, being assholes and trying to disrespect B-Girl Raygun and talk about things that we know nothing about. And we need to really just look at what just happened. History just happened. And you know what? If you don't care, I get it. You don't do what we do. You don't have to care about it. But do yourself a favor. Don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole. As simple as that. Listen, I can understand the ignorance of not really understanding our culture. I get it. Not everybody, people don't even know hip hop is a culture. I'm acknowledging that people probably don't understand the culture, probably never really even knew there was one. People probably don't even know that this dance is international. It's in so many countries and has reached so many heights. And it's been having Olympic level battling since before it was in the Olympics. There's so many battles that take place all around the world where people are representing their countries, battling on a world-class scale. I can understand that you don't know it exists, because up until the Olympics, it's been relatively underground unless you're a part of it or you just happen to stumble onto it. I can understand that you probably don't even know hip hop was a culture and you probably just thought it was rap music. I can understand that. I really can. I'm sympathizing with that. You do have the right to your opinion. Fair play. But what I cannot condone is the ignorance to how physically demanding and athletic this dance really is. I cannot accept that level of ignorance for one simple fact. One thing that could shut down all that right now by me saying this one thing. Why don't you try it? It's as simple as that.
Why don't you try to do even the most basic part of this dance and then say B-Girl Raygun's round was the easiest thing in the world. Anybody could have done it. Just stop.
Because I'll tell you what's gonna happen. You're gonna get exposed real quick. Guaranteed. The minute you try and even do a basic movement in breaking, and I don't mean just try it. I mean try and do it because it's so easy, right? Try and do it strong, clean, with the proper form, and to the music. The minute you try that, you're gonna realize, holy shit, this is fucking hard. Bruh. So I'm letting you know right now, if you do think it is easy, I'll tell you what, send us a clip of you trying this, and I'll even give you a month to train. That should be enough, right? 1 month, 30 days.
30 days because what she did was so easy for anybody can do it. And I'm not talking about anybody with prior breaking training, anybody who's actively breaking right now. Sure, there's plenty of us that could do what she did, right? But for those of you at home that are casting judgment upon her as if what she's doing is super elementary and that you think anyone can do it, you yourself can do it, or you're conveniently making stupid videos of you copying her moves, but conveniently leaving out the more difficult moves, you try it. You show us what you got, all right? And another thing, dancers, B-boys, B-girls, listen, we gotta stand up against this nonsense. We gotta stand up for our culture. We gotta stand up for the fact that we've all had an off day. We've all been at a lower level than someone else before us. Overall spectrum of it is just accepting that person in your culture, encouraging them to keep going, to do better, to get better, and that's how we grow as a culture. So we need y'all to stand up for people trying to make it seem as if her performance defines the entirety and validity of breaking in the Paris 2024 Olympics. That just makes no sense. I mean, just look at some of what the other competitors were doing. You'll easily see this is the hardest physical activity that one can do. Listen, if you have a heart, try to find it in your heart to empathize with this girl. I know that empathy isn't something that the public pushes, isn't something that the internet pushes. That's fine, okay? But if you're a decent human being, a decent one, right? Try to find a heart and put yourself in her shoes. All she did was go there to represent her country, to have the honor that any athlete would want in their lifetime, to represent her country at the highest platform at the Olympics. That's all she went there to do. And she tried her best. She might have come up short for her competition, but there's no reason to be an asshole. Think about it.
Let me tell you what's gonna happen right now. You're gonna have a bunch of people riding this wave because it's a viral topic. Somebody made a funny meme about it, and people are going to take this. They're gonna use fucking buzzwords like disgrace and abomination and put the funniest picture they can find on their thumbnail, and they're gonna get clicks, right? And they're gonna take your views and they're gonna get paid for it. And you know what's gonna happen? Next week, nobody's gonna give a fuck anymore. They're not gonna talk about it anymore because they've already
milked the moment.
Milked the moment at the expense of this girl. They've already milked the moment
of her mental health, trying to make her seem foolish.
And you know what? You know what's gonna happen with her? That shit is gonna stay with her forever. And she's gonna have to dig deep inside herself to overcome all this nonsense. And I know she will.
Because she's a B-girl. And you know what? Our culture is full of strong individuals who are able to handle those things. And her community is gonna push her because the actual breaking community is actually very uplifting and encouraging, especially to those who maybe had an off day or who need to improve upon their skills and abilities.
I gotta say, props to the females in our dance because they are truly strong women, both physically and mentally.
Exactly. So if you consider yourself a feminist, you better say some shit.
Yeah, because let me tell you something. There's a lot more sillier shit you can be talking about the Olympics right now.
And things happening right now in the Paris 2024 Olympics.
Let me put it in perspective for y'all. To do a basic foundational move in breaking will take a normal person, not a person who has ever been in any type of training before. It will take a normal person, even a relatively fit person who goes to the gym every day. It'll take them about 3 to 4, maybe even 5 years to do it strong.
The average person.
Clean, and on beat to the music. Now, once you get to that point, after that, us as B-boys and B-girls, it's up to us to take now the basic foundational movement that we've been putting 4 to 5 years into getting and elevating it to a level even greater than that. And on top of it, doing it in a way that is completely unique to our character, our creativity, our personality, and developing our own style.
And our body types.
And our body types. You have to really understand the level of difficulty for the basic movement, for a normal person, it's extremely hard. And I promise you, you're not going to be able to do it that easy. It's going to take you, I would say it would have to take you a minimum of 3 times a week training for 2 hours every time you're training. So what's that? 3 times 2, that's 6 hours a week for 3 years straight. 3 to 5 years straight.
Just to start kinda not looking like a beginner.
Just to not look like a beginner.
Bruh.
I'm putting that into perspective. So if you really think you got it, I'll give you a month.
Just try the moves that she did.
Yeah, try some of the moves that she
They're
did.
actually the ones that look difficult, the ones that we described, that we put in our video.
Yeah, that we put in our video, which is the swipe on the forearm, going on your head and touching your toes and holding it, and the coin drops. Try a coin drop, because I guarantee you, 100%, I'm so confident in this right now. You're not gonna be able to do it.
This is just one video out of many where we'll be discussing breaking in the Olympics and why it's so amazing, why it's so incredible, and what it means for our culture.
After the Olympics, if you're still scratching your head because you really don't get it and you really don't understand the rule set, the judging, what to look for, the criteria, or even certain elements of the dance that people are looking at, well, it's okay, you know?
Subscribe to our channel and we'll teach you.
We got you. We'll break down everything. We'll tell you what you should be looking for in battles. We'll break down the elements that actually make up the dance. Be giving you an insight on what it's like to really be a B-boy and B-girl, both the lifestyle and the physical aspect of it as well.
Yes. So if you're interested in actually learning what the culture of breaking is about and how breaking fits within the culture of hip hop,
And the physicality that comes along with it.
then subscribe to this channel. We're gonna be going through all that. All right? Shout out to all the Olympians. Y'all did amazing. Shout out to everyone who supports breaking in the Olympics.
And shout out to B-Girl Raygun, because you represented your country, you did your best. And even if you had an off day, it's okay, because you're the one who was there on stage. You're the one who represented your country, and you're the one who represented hip hop.
Not these yahoos.
Not these yahoos. We got your back. The Strawhats got your back. All right, so if you enjoyed this video, if you felt like you got some knowledge from it or some value, please like, comment, subscribe. If it pissed you off, please tell us in the comments. We would love to hear what you have to say. If you have any questions,
on breaking culture, hip hop culture, we'd definitely be down to answer any and every question as best as we can from our prior knowledge, from the education we've had by being in this culture, and from our personal experiences.
my name is B-Boy Jules,
And I'm B-Boy Tricks.
and we represent a crew called 5 Crew Dynasty.
And we've been breaking for close to about 20 years now.
We've traveled the world with our crew and battled in international competitions, and we've, quite frankly, battled some of the best B-boys and B-girls in the world throughout our travels.
And in that time, we've learned so much. We've connected with so many people of different cultures. We've really experienced the culture of hip hop and breaking within hip hop and what it has to offer. We have a vast amount of knowledge about the breaking scene, what it takes to be a high level B-boy, B-girl. That's just a little bit about who we are, in case you wanted to know why we are talking about this and if what we have to say even really matters.
I know I'm trying to be as objective as possible, trying to be as understanding as possible, and understand that people just don't get it, or they might not get it.
Or
you know?
people are just easily manipulated by clip and media culture.
Clip and media culture. But it's okay. We're here to debunk all of it.
And you know what? Like I said before, all the B-girls, all the B-boys, everyone in the hip-hop community, we need to band together and we need to continuously push for breaking to continue to be in the Olympics, to continue to be on world stages, to continue getting the sponsorships and everything that we deserve. Because let's face it, we've worked super hard for this, and we gotta keep pushing. We gotta keep this going. We have to become self-sufficient, and we gotta do it not only for ourselves, but for our entire culture and the youth that's coming up right under us. Where we maybe didn't have a future, we can open one up for them. So do your part, do what you gotta do, and let's take this silly little situation, let's throw it behind us, because it really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. as far as what's important, right? And let's move on to bigger, better, more beautiful things with breaking. And what's next? What are we gonna do?
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.